It's 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. On the phone, Chas Farcher from Martin Harding Mazzotti. How you doing, Chas?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Chas is brought on the show to kind of break down in detail. He's our fake hero insider. The guy in a half moon who busted into his neighbor's house high on LSD to rescue a dog because he thought the house was on fire. It wasn't. He never drove on the road, and they never found the drugs, is the way I read the story.
Well, they were in him.
what did you make out of that case or that story?
We got a guy who did more drugs than Charlie Sheen on a Tuesday. He's a would be good citizen here trying to save someone's dog, and the problem is that the house fire that he tries to save the dog from doesn't exist. So you got some criminal charges pending, and probably rightfully so.
He drove through the fence,
right,
and then he smashed the door down
but
to rescue the dog.
Didn't get like a traffic ticket because, according to the news story at least, he never got his car on the road, therefore he can't get a ticket. Does that make any sense?
Well, usually whenever you're talking about drug driving or things like that, you're talking about driving on a public roadway, I think. So that's probably part of it. I think also the other part of it is when the police actually arrived, I think they found him standing in the road holding the dog that he had rescued. So I'm sure you've got a question of operation or some other issues, and because there are other felony charges that could hit him with, I think those seemed to be more appropriate, such as burglary and criminal mischief.
Okay, but he was, in his mind, right? I mean, he was trying to do the right thing. I mean, that's got to be... in this day and age, that's got to be worth something.
If the house was really on fire, you wouldn't even be on the show right now, Chas.
That's right.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, my friend.
I know.
All right, so it's not fun. It really isn't funny.
Can you put a guy in jail or fine him or whatever the hell comes when he really honestly thought he was doing the right thing?
Yes,
or do we just find the hell out of him and get him some psychological help or get him into a rehab program or something?
Yeah, I think, listen, he's facing 2 felonies. So he really is facing prison time. Will he actually do that? Probably not. If he's a first-time offender, he doesn't have an extensive record, he'll probably end up with some form of probation. I don't think he's actually going to do jail time. He's probably right where he probably belongs is on celebrity rehab or something like that.
Celebrity rehab. Now, listen, the way that I read this story yesterday or a couple days ago is that a lot of the neighbors didn't want to go on camera, have their name used because of things he's destroyed in the past. My guess is if this was a standalone one-time incident,
right,
his neighbors might enjoy the joke and go a little lighter on him.
Okay.
But he seems to have a history. Did you pick up that
He's
in the
got a little
story?
creep factor.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that's going to come into account. There's probably going to be restitution for, the amount of damage to the neighbor's property. I don't know how much. You get a Beamer up to speed. I think he was driving a Beamer at the time he drove into his neighbor's house. Or through the guy's fence at least. So there's probably going to be some restitution.
Leave the brand of the car out of the thing. You get anything. You get my old mom's Subaru Outback from 2000 up to speed. You can go over through the damn fence.
Quinn's upset because the viral video of the guy in Albany trying to pass a school bus smashing into a barrier was also in a BMW.
It's got nothing to do with the BMW.
No, I know, but just reporting the facts is all we're doing.
Facts are important, Quinn, and I understand you probably you drive a Beamer, so maybe.
No, I drive a Mercedes-Benz, and it's a lovely vehicle. But I'm just saying. Okay.
We're just drawing parallels here, Quinn.
All right, fine. The haters.
All right, so let me ask you personally, Chas, if this was your neighbor and you were taking the family to Tahiti this February, would you let this guy feed your cats and water your plants?
I think there's obviously some level of judgment that's involved there. He probably wouldn't be at the top of my list, but if I had to get to Tahiti, it's not a very long list. I don't have a long list of friends, so he'd probably be on the list. This might not be my first call.
Oh, if he phoned Farcher, would you defend him?
Oh, absolutely.
Attaboy.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody deserves and is entitled to a reasonable defense, and I think there's one to be had here. I think mental state is certainly at issue. There's a great way to fight, a lot of the crimes he's been charged with are crimes of intent. I think you can fight intent here.
You're the best, man.
Thanks,
You're the best. I love you, Chas.
Chas Farcher from Martin Harding Mazzotti. 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. We always appreciate it, Chas.
Thanks, guys.
Quinn and Cantera, mornings on Pix 106.